You're not rocking it right, yo. You're not rocking it right. Your color's too bright, pants too tight. You look like you on crack, boy, hitting the pipe. Abu Velore, hear the shit.
Yo, I'm here.
I see. Hold on.
So you have
All
to
right.
put it.
I don't know what was, I don't know what was going on. You know, the internet is crazy, man.
So
I never really did this on Facebook.
You have to put
Good
it
day,
on.
man. Good day, man. Peace, man. Good
You
to
have to
see
put
you.
it
What's
on.
going on, man?
You have to put it on public. Your view. It's on public.
Public?
Let's get it.
What do you say? Where's say public?
So it'll come up on the live. It'll say friends or public.
It says live right now.
Yeah, we're live. All right, we'll keep going. Let's get it. All right, so just wanted to say before we start our interview, this man right here, massive success. So just want to say first off, he visited Australia, his group in 1988. Just to guys let you know, his name is Abu Velore, Abuvelore. Absolutely phenomenal group. He came out with Double O. He came out with a big group there in 1988, all the way to Sydney, Australia from Brooklyn. Big shout out to him, man. This is history in the making, just so you guys know, this absolutely phenomenal artist. But before we go into all of that, he internationally toured Australia back then in 1988. His first ever episode today with me on International Pioneer Hip Hop Show. So let's give a round of applause to Abu Velore. Absolutely phenomenal. Is there anything you would like to say before we start the interview?
Peace. I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing, man. I heard a lot about you. You know? I heard you ain't diamonds if you ain't on this show. You know, White Boy Production. Sydney to go. You heard?
Salute, brother. Salute. Much appreciated.
Peace, man.
All right.
That's
So
peace.
we're just going to talk a little bit about you now, so people get to know you a little bit more. So you're from Brooklyn, New York, and your birthday's in May the 4th. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
Just have a little bit of
Taurus the Bull, yeah.
Let's just have a little bit of a chat about that. Were you always from Brooklyn, New York, or you lived in other states in America, or?
Now, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but I lived in other states. I live in another state now.
Okay. So where have you lived in New York, like in different areas in America?
In New York? In New York?
Yeah.
I lived all over New York. I lived in Long Island, I lived in East New York, I lived in Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy, Flatbush, but I'm originally from Flatbush, though.
Nice.
Born and raised in Flatbush.
Yeah, keep it like that. Perfect. We can see you perfect. We're looking at the view now. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, awesome.
I got you.
So you're a CEO and a founder at 1155. Congratulations, first and foremost. Can we talk a little bit about that?
1155 Digital. That's a company I started after I left a couple of the major companies. I was on Virgin, then I was on Profile. Before that, I was on a bunch of independent labels before I was on Virgin. Me and Double O started off independent. I started off independent. I made my first record in 78.
Wow.
79.
Wow.
That was before hip-hop even hit this, hit to the degree it was. I had another name. I was under the name Cat Claw. But anyway, we was on a lot of independent companies, man. That'd be a long story. It'd take a long time to tell all of that. And then finally, we ended up getting signed with Virgin Records. Managed by a young man named Matty Silverman. He got us a deal. We was on independent labels, and Matty Silverman got us a deal with a company called Invasion Records. They were independent too, but they took us to Virgin Records, and then we got signed with Virgin Records in '86. About '86. Back in them days, it took a little longer to make an album. It's not like what y'all see today.
Yeah.
Okay, we worked on an album for like a whole year.
What?
Okay,
Wow.
so we was signed in '86, and we was working on the album from '86 to '87, doing demos with a guy named Alvin Moody, a bass player. He played with everybody, Madonna, Shaka Khan.
Wow.
He had his own production. He had his own production company and studio in the Bronx. So we would go up there. We had some demos, and we redid all the demos. So over that period of time, it was about from '86 to '88. A lot of people don't know that. They just see you come out with a record, and they just think, boom, the record was done like that. Nah, not back in those days. If you talk to any older artists, R&B, hip-hop, rock and roll, blues, they'll tell you it took a lot longer to make an album before the '80s.
Wow. Well, that's something
So,
I didn't know. Wow.
oh yeah, big difference from what you're seeing now with these computers and these laptops, right? So from '86 to '88, we was recording. So we had about 3 albums ready,
Wow.
but we just broke it down to what records that we figured they should be on the album at that time. And that's how we came out with the Come and Correct album. Let me show you the Come and Correct album. I still got the classic Come and Correct albums. See?
Nice. Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's nice.
Come and Correct
nice.
album. We came out with the Come and Correct album. We put that up about, back then we had about 60 records, I say. We put that off about 60 records, and then we came off with this single right here.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, the ugly.
This is the single to everybody, all of the industry and the big wigs up in Virgin.
Nice.
They put this single out and say, yo, we want to go with this single.
We will talk about that a little bit later. That's called The Ugly Girl. I know. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
The record with single was You're Ugly.
Nice.
But yeah, that's how it went. That's how it went. We recorded and we came out in '88.
Wow. All right. So what is one message you would give your fans and why?
Well, message is be true to yourself, man. You know what I mean? Whatever your art form is, whatever you feel, be true to yourself and do what you feel in your heart you should do and what type of art you should deliver, whether you painting, whether you dancing, whether you making music, whether you doing what you do, you got to be true to yourself.
100%.
That's the message I would give. Yeah, be true to yourself and make it happen that way. Don't do nothing that you don't want to do.
What would you say some of the changes are from when you were, you know, back in the day when you were doing what you're doing to what you see now? Some of the changes I would say would be the internet, AI, quick turnaround, different producers, different CEOs, a lot of different things happening now, a lot quicker, like you were explaining earlier, how it took a year to make an album. Now people can make an album in a week.
Oh, they can make an album in a day. You can make an album in a day now. It's nothing. You know what I mean? You got so many things, so many different tools to assist you.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know?
What do you think? What do you think's the most important at the moment in today's hip hop?
Balancing out those tools, because you know you got auto tune, you got AI, you got all of these drum boxes and these other tools that are making music like this. You got AI that'll make you a track, so you got to balance it out. Otherwise, you're not gonna have nothing of yourself. So that's what I would say is the most important thing, because technology and computers are not your enemy. A lot of people believe that, but it's not. It's actually your friend if you use it properly. But
what are your thoughts on
you gotta
AI?
balance it out. You gotta balance it out. That's what I would say.
Okay. What are your thoughts on AI?
It was destined to come. Now the whole thing is how you gonna use it.
Okay. So there's good and bad in AI, you'd say?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good and bad in AI. It speeds up
Okay.
the process for a lot of things. A lot of things you would do that would take you a year, you could do it in 10 minutes with AI.
All right. While we're on this subject, would you say a lot of 70% of the rappers at the moment don't what they rap, they don't live?
Well, I would say that yes, but it's a balance to it because what the people who want to be artists today, uh, their agenda is to be an artist. They're motivated by what they believe the public want.
Yep.
You see?
Okay. What
So
is
that's what they're feeding into what the public wants. The public want ignorance. They feel as though they gotta act ignorant. If the public want to see you naked, they feel as though they gotta get naked.
good point. What are three things you think is important for a hip hop label at the moment to survive in the music industry today? I'll go first just to give you a bit of a heads up. For me, I think number one, merchandise. If you don't have your own merchandise line as an artist, I think that you're falling behind. Number two, if you don't have live shows, I think you've definitely fallen behind. Number three is very important. If you don't market yourself and make sure yourself is available every single day for somebody to reach out for you as an artist, I think then you'll fall off. A lot of artists, they don't do this. They don't market it. They don't promote themselves. They don't put the money behind themselves. They think they make one hit and then they boom. That's not how it works. Normally takes 10 years, between 7 to 10 years to become into the hip hop scene seriously, in my opinion. Would you agree?
I agree. I agree with all those three things you said.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
And one other thing I would add on is you got to make sure you own your name, your brand, own your likeness, and own all of your masters.
Yeah. Correct. So what is the other? Basically, what I'm getting at here is I see a lot of people. They grind every day. They could be one of the best artists, but they don't have any marketing. They don't have anything behind them, so nobody's going to see them. So my best solution for any artist coming up for myself would be to make sure you have a budget and to make sure you have some kind of marketing and merchandise and live shows set up behind you if you were going to compete with a lot of these artists these days. For me, that's what I've seen a lot of artists are lacking. And to make one song a year or one album a year is not very good either. I'm not an artist, and I put out 7 albums last year. I'll go into a few more details later. But do you know what I mean? The consistency a lot of these artists isn't there.
I agree, especially in today's time. As fast as the artists drop records, you gotta be on top of your game. You gotta constantly be dropping records, and you gotta drop records with quality too.
Yeah.
And good records. You can't just throw garbage out there.
Correct. Well, yeah,
You
a
got
lot
to
of
make sure
artists
your
are.
record. You got to make sure you can't just flood the market with trash.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
your
I agree.
records got to be right. You got to have good records. So you got to select good records, and you got to know your market too, because different artists got different markets. Some fans don't want to see certain type of records from certain artists.
Yeah, that's
That's
correct.
just a fact.
Yeah.
So you got to
Yeah,
know your audience. You got to know who you trying to target. You got to know where you fit in, and you
100%.
100% right. You marketing is the key because if nobody sees you, I don't care how good your records are. If nobody hears you or sees you, you're not going to sell.
Correct. Correct. So what I'm getting at is here, the best thing to do is those 3 pointers for me, as you would agree yourself, to make it anywhere in the music industry, which is why I brought that up. More importantly, name your top 5 male MCs alive, not dead, and why.
Well, my top 5 MCs probably wouldn't be anybody any of these people are listening to today. You know what I mean? Because I really don't listen to new artists because I'm not trying to sound like a new artist. I'm not trying to pick up nothing from a new artist. I'm staying in my lane. You know what I mean? So my top artists would be like Kool G Rap, Kumo D, Grandmaster Caz, Nas,
Nice.
Grand Poobah, artists like that.
Nice.
More thorough,
Nice.
more thorough artists that always had their own style. You know, they might have took a little bit from somebody because everybody starts from something. I get that.
Yeah.
But not carbon copies. Like right now, I can hear records on the radio and I don't know who's who, man.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
many
I hear
people
a lot
sound
of
the same.
I hear a lot of people trying to rap over the, music in the background. To me personally, I like a lot of a cappella. That way it shows me what the artist is actually about instead of hearing a lot of background noise. That's how I would choose a lot of my artists, and I would pick a lot of my artists for my music, would be to hear those artists on the a cappella version, nothing to do with background noise. And I've done that for a period of many years now, and it's, it actually works with the music. If an artist is good with no background noise, you can actually hear the a cappella, can actually hear what they sound like. Sky's the limit, as long as they do the right things with what they're doing. But more importantly for me, just so you know, a lot of my artists, top 5 artists at the moment in the industry for me, pretty straightforward. Would be Ritz, number one. I'm sure you know who Ritz is. He's been around a very long time, up there with Yellow Wolf, many, many years. Ritz is absolutely phenomenal artist. Probably one of the best a cappella artists in the world. I'm sure you know who Ritz is. Yes, Yellow Wolf?
Yellow Wolf?
Yellow Wolf.
I heard of the name. I heard of the name, but I haven't really heard any of their music. No.
Okay.
Because
So
remember what I mentioned. Remember what I mentioned to you. I really don't listen to too many artists.
Yeah, no,
See,
I'm just
if you're a very good artist, and I guarantee you speak to a lot of artists, they may listen to an artist vaguely, but they're not going to listen to an artist too much.
Yeah.
You don't even want the artist to rub off on you like that.
Yeah.
I know I don't. When I deliver something to you, I don't really care who likes it or who don't like it, because you got billions of people out here. There'll be a million people that like what I'm doing. I'm sure of that. And I want to deliver myself authentically.
100%.
Now, yes, I will hear an artist, but I'm not really listening to artists like that. I'm listening to jazz. I'm listening to blues. I'm listening to rock and roll. I'm listening to bluegrass. You dig?
Nice.
That's how I get inspired. That's how I get inspired.
No.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And then when I hear an artist, somebody like you mentioned an artist, now I'll go throw them on. I say, all right, let me listen to what the artist is saying. And I'll listen to the artist and I say, okay, I can see their vibe, but I'm not going to really stay on the artist like that. I'm going to just be honest with you.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and listen to Jimi Hendrix. I'm going to go back and listen to Barry White. You dig? That's where I come from. I come from digging in the crates, man. We dig in the crates and then we create something new. We don't emulate.
I like it.
You feel me?
Yeah, I like it. But
that's hip hop to me. That's hip hop where I come from.
I will mention this because these are the top tier hip hop heads at the moment. That's in this industry, that's in this era right now, would be Jadakiss, Mad Squabbles, RJ Payne, JB.
Yeah, I've heard of them, and I don't listen to them that often, but I could tell you right away who's delivering. Jadakiss, definitely.
Yeah.
RJ Payne, definitely.
Yeah.
They're on fire.
Yeah.
They're not no joke.
Yeah.
They're about their craft. That's hip hop.
Correct. Yeah.
That's hip hop.
What about Ty Farris from Detroit?
I'm not that familiar with him.
Okay. He's like RJ Payne. Very good.
Okay.
Mad Squabbles is coming up. He's like RJ Payne. He's junior to RJ Payne. He's absolutely phenomenal. The reason I say this is because these artists are a cappella. They can spit at any time. They can do anything at any time. A bit like COB and King Crocodile. They rap backwards. They're one of the best. They're one of the best elite rappers in the world. So the reason I say this is because in our era right now, if you take a look, you already know RJ Payne. You already know some that I mentioned. That doesn't change. That's never going to change. These are top tier rap hip hop artists that not many people are going to beat ever. No one's going to even come close.
They got their own lane. They doing what they do. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Correct.
That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be authentic, man. You do what you do. You know what I mean? We don't want a bunch of carbon copies. That's what we got. We got too many. There's a million MCs, man, and they whack.
Yeah, correct. That's correct. That's right. 100%. But I tell you this, and unfortunately, the music industry is going this way. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't matter of the talent you have. It depends if you can market and promote yourself and the money you got behind as a budget. They'll push who
Yeah,
you are. They don't care
yeah,
if you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and that's why you're seeing a lot of garbage, because a lot of these talented
Right. You're
artists
seeing a
don't
lot of
have the.
garbage. And that's a problem.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
yeah,
You understand? Because now when you get the authentic artists, you don't see them. They're buried because they don't have the proper budget behind them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then you get all the trash, and then you get the people out here in the world saying hip hop is trash.
yeah,
And that ain't even hip hop.
yeah. That's correct. Yeah,
That's not
yeah,
even hip hop. Okay? That's corporate pop, man. That's corporate trash. That's what they putting out here to influence people. And you know, do other things with it. They're using that as a tool of destruction.
yeah. No, 100%. They're trying in the hip hop industry. It's coming back slowly with bars, beats, message, and delivery, which is what I look for. It's coming back slowly, very slowly,
Well,
but
I
we
think
are.
it's always been here. It's just that, like you just said, it doesn't have the marketing power.
Yeah, correct.
You need a machine behind a good artist.
Yeah,
A corporate exec told me that years ago.
yeah.
He said, look, hits are made in the boardroom.
100%.
Understand how real that is. Hits are made in the boardroom,
Yeah,
meaning you need money behind you.
yeah.
If you get a
100%.
great artist and you put money behind him, he change the whole game.
Yep.
But
Correct. Well, I can
instead
imagine.
they put money behind trash because there's agenda behind it.
Yeah, that's right. Correct. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
But a lot of the greats, like I said, the ones that are coming up and things like that, they have put a lot of money behind these people, and that's why they're booming over the old MCs over the greats. Because I'll be honest, a lot of the old great MCs, they don't like to jump on and do a lot of promotion. They don't like to do a lot of marketing. They don't care. They just in their own lane. They don't care, and that's where they're not being seen. And the other
That's
people
true.
do care.
That's true.
They're
I
putting
agree because
all the.
I know some artists personally myself who I've told them that. I told them
Yeah,
today I know a lot of old school artists, and I speak to them and I tell them that. I said, listen, you can't hate on somebody else, man, if you're not getting your grind in
yeah, that's
and you're
right.
not
Correct.
doing what you're supposed to do.
That's
You
right.
can't just sit back because you had a hit record back in 20, 30 years ago and sit back and think that you're just going to ride on that. No, man. You good as your hit. You
Yeah,
good as your newest hit. You got to keep it coming.
exactly.
And that's just,
100%. Like,
that's what it is.
there's a lot of artists out there that, as I said, might put one song out a year, or if you're lucky, do a video or one song or one show and think that they're the best in the world or that's what's going to make it. It's not. You know, the amount of consistency that I've done is absolutely crazy. We'll go into it a bit later. But more importantly, at the moment, what's your idol in the music industry right now, or what's your most favorite idol that you could say has influenced you in your music?
Well, they're not alive.
Okay.
The ones that influenced me, that had the greatest impact on me, is many of them, but they're not alive. It would be like Curtis Mayfield, you know? It would be
Okay.
producers like that, Barry White, Isaac Hayes. You understand? And the Kool in the Gang, they're alive.
Yeah.
Artists like Kool in the Gang.
Coolio, any good
Artists
for
like
you?
that. Hip hop artists, it's not many because, like I said, I came up with most of them. There was a couple of them before me, and I mentioned who they were.
Yeah.
And after that, I mean, you know, none of them really knocked me out. I mean, I have respect for a lot of them because they broke different lanes open, like Rakim. Something he brought something new to the game. At one time people wasn't rhyming laid back like that. You know, there's certain artists that brought something new to the game. And you gotta give them their flowers while they're alive. You got to give it to them.
100%.
But I'm saying a lot of the other ones that you're hearing, they're not amazing to me. And I'm not, that's not out of no disrespect, because I have this conversation with my brothers and my nephews. We when we at the barbecues, they say, who's your top 10? Who's your top 5?
Yeah, yeah.
And my top 10, they don't even know them. You understand what I'm saying? That's how real it
I
is.
get it.
They don't
No,
know
I
my
get it.
top 10.
No.
If I name my top 10, they wouldn't know 'em. And their top 10 is somebody totally different. I'm looking at them like, they're not special to me.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah, no, I get it.
not out of disrespect.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't see nothing they did different, because you got to remember, I'm coming from 79,
Yeah, no,
78. So I saw the foundation of this thing. So you really going to have to do something totally different to really make me say, okay,
okay.
this guy's doing something totally different. And every once in a while, I do hear one now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
But
100%. Yeah.
it's not a lot of these guys who they got popularity and it's on the radio 40 times a day. That don't impress me.
Yeah.
That's a program. That's paid for ads.
Correct.
That's paid for music.
Yeah.
So I know the industry. I know what's going on. So sometimes these people, they're more like fans. They're more like impressed with what they believe an artist is. They look at it all totally different from me. And you know that.
Yeah.
You're in the business.
Yeah, no,
So when we're in the
100%.
business, we look at it different. We
You
know
know,
when
100%.
when somebody had paid to come on White Boy's show.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of
We
course.
know when somebody paid to come on another show. We're like, the guy's okay. You know what I mean? His radio slots are paid for.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean? So
I get
that's
it.
not impressive.
So female,
It's impressive to me when somebody comes out the gate and he didn't have all of that. And guess what? Nobody could deny him.
so I'm with you, because that's what happened to me.
That's the one who impresses me, White Boy. You
I
understand?
appreciate it, man.
That one who comes out the gate and nobody really gave him that. He got it. He grind for it. And he ends up with that hit record and you can't deny it. That's who impresses Velore, man.
Great. So, all right. So we'll carry on. The female MCs is very important to me. So a lot of them are slept on in the industry, but they're very important to me. There's only far and few left in the industry for female industry. But let's just quickly tap on a few female MCs there. For me, we could say at the moment I deal heavily with Buffalo. So Buffalo, I've done a lot of work with Buffalo. I'll explain a little bit later to you. But in Buffalo itself, I would have to say Carla Bishop, Michelle Visa would be up there for female MCs. If you look up the female MCs in around that era, they're absolutely phenomenal, and they brought it from themselves. So they brought up, like you were talking about, they're female MCs, and they're coming up. They're coming up from themselves with no help or anything like that. Also, Sexy Psycho, I've worked with for a long time as well, from Dallas. She brought it up from herself from the mud as well. Check out Sexy Psycho as well. Very, very good as well. These are phenomenal female MCs. Lady EXO, Sarah Rock. A lot of these ladies have been around for.
I'm familiar with her. I played some of her videos. I got a video show that's been on for about 25 years. It started off in Brooklyn. It was called in Brooklyn Cable Access, which is like an underground TV station. I started there, and then when internet blew up, I put it online. It's called 1155 Links. You go there, I play all the indie artists. All independent artists is on there. I've been playing them for 20 years.
What do you think
Matter of fact, some of the artists that you would say that, it's hot, because I don't know all the artists. I'm busy. It's millions of artists out here. I would like you to send me some of their links, and I'm going to check them. You know what I mean? Nice. And if I like some of the artists, I throw them in my little program.
I will say this. I was very impressed with Nemesis, your female artist. I think that she's got very good delivery. freestyle. She's got a lot of bars, message. She's something that we're looking for in the old hip hop school. Definitely on the Pioneer show would be great. Nemesis is definitely fire.
I'll definitely plug you with Nemesis, but she's not my artist. She was independent. I met her independently on an internet network. Okay,
Nice.
I met her. I met her on independently on an internet network, and I hollered at Nemesis actually and said, "Yo, I like your grind. I've been seeing her a lot, and let's do a record." And I forwarded her the track. My boy Mark STS from Scotland. Okay,
Wow.
this guy makes dope beats. Okay, he's Caucasian, older looking guy, old school guy. You wouldn't. He's not a backpacker. You don't look. He's not 20.
Okay.
Old school guy, but he got fire.
Wow.
Mark XSPS out of Scotland. He gave me some beats, and I shot the beat to Nemesis. I dropped a little rough verse on it, and we put it together. But that's my sister. We start working, and she's like a sister to me, and, you know, she gets her grind on. She do her own thing. She links up with a lot of people, and that's what I'm saying. I respect artists like that. When I see artists like that, I jump on the track with them. I don't talk no money business. It's a handshake. You know what I mean? And then we just get it in, man. We just trying to make it happen. We trying to make a little classic hit record, even if it's underground. It's all good.
She's fire, man. She's fire. All right. So I just want to touch on a few things that I have done, just so you know, roughly from getting it up from the mud. So I originally started this when COVID happened. Originally started my album, White Boy Productions, Sydney the Goat. Now, in that period of time, I've done over 500 interviews worldwide with all different artists, signed or unsigned artists, big celebrities, signed or unsigned artists. I'll show you a lot of different stuff.
I heard about you. I heard about you, man. I'm saluting you, man. You putting in work. You know what I mean? And I salute anybody who putting in work. You know what I mean? You doing your thing, man. And I watched Australia come up because, like I told you, I was there in the beginning.
I know. We'll get into
when
that.
When it first hit the dirt. So I respect what you're doing.
100%, man. Much appreciated. I also got 10 merchandise lines worldwide. Here's a few drips here that you can see here. I've got all different merchandise lines, all different emblems, colors, all that kind of different stuff. I've got my own backdrop, different stuff that I've got happening as well. I've done over 8 albums worldwide under White Boy Productions, Sydney the Goat. I did send you the link to all the different tracks. I've done over 90 singles also, 90 different singles. I've actually got more music out than an artist that's signed. So if that tells you, not only that, I've got 7 million engagements worldwide, and that's not a like or follow on TikTok. That's actually engaged with me and actually gotten behind me and have actually spoken with or actually interacted with without any paid views or anything like that. So that's exceptional from someone coming up from the mud from back in the COVID days till now. I've done radio.
You did that all independently yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
I've done radio, TV, radio, TV appearances.
Okay, that's what's up.
So I've done radio and TV appearances as well. I've been on all the radio stations and different radio stations and TV in America. So I've done all that independently myself. I've been on all of that. And as you know, I've just done a new hip hop show called Hip Hop Pioneers, and you're the first one on the new show that we've got, Hip Hop Pioneers. And so big shout out and congratulations for that. Because there'll be a lot of hip hop pioneers.
I appreciate that.
There'll be a lot of different hip hop pioneers on this show because I did my other show called White Boy Productions, Sydney the Goat as well, went for a long time. But now I've got the hip hop pioneers. I've decided to do hip hop pioneers because I've already done a lot focusing on all the others. So, man, you're the first one on here. So big shout out for that, man. That's a big honor there.
That's
especially when you're
the
first one in Australia to come out as a rap group. You're the first one on my hip hop pioneers. So there you go. Must meant to be, man. Well done. Well done. All right.
Yes, sir.
So what is some of the rappers that you've met in person, and what did that do for you?
Well, I met a lot of rappers, man. I mean, I see a lot of rappers. But I never really been a groupie, man. You know what I mean? That's like never really been my thing. I see rappers, it's like, yo, what's up, man? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
always been that for me from the beginning. So I mean, I've seen a lot of rappers. I'm affiliated with rappers. You know, rappers have helped me.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I mean, that's about. But I tell you who I've been inspired by. I've been inspired by Grandmaster D from Houdini, Jalil from Houdini, Ecstasy from Houdini. All right, Super Rhymes, original Super Rhymes, Moppy from Flatbush. You know what I mean?
Wow.
My young bulls, Special Ed and Action. These are the people who motivate me, who come from where I come from. Because when I see people come from the grounds I come from and make it, it's just a total salute. You know what I mean? The CEO, Jimmy Roseman.
100%.
Jimmy Roseman from Czar Records put out so many records. These are guys that influenced me. Ralph McDaniels from Video Music Box. You know what I mean? These are the people that influence me. So I usually get influenced and inspired by people that I actually see.
Yeah.
It's
Would
reality.
you would you be interested?
Not people I see on TV and it's like some dream. I never been that. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. What do you think of the artists that go on Shade 45, the radio stations, and do their production that way?
Enough respect, man. They keeping the culture alive. I respect what everybody does, especially when they're original.
Do you know that I'm
You
working with
understand?
Shade 45? Do you know that I work with Shade 45? I work with all the different TV shows. I work with urban TV.com. I work with This Is 50. I work with all the different platforms. I work with all the different media channels. So if you're interested in going on any of them platforms or TVs or radio stations or anything like that, shout out to me.
Okay, I appreciate that, brother. And that's good that you network with people, you know, because I mean, that's what it's all about, networking. It's all about
100%.
networking in this game. It's all about networking.
So urbangrindtv.com and myself, Whiteway Productions Sydney the GOAT, we've got big opportunities with This Is 50, Shade 45, plaques. We've got billboard plaques. We've got shows that we can do. We can set you up for. We've got Cole Calhoun going on live performances if you want to open up for him as well. We've got all the different old school people that are going to be doing tours and that kind of stuff. Old pioneers, hip hop pioneers, which is another reason why I made the show. I've got all them connections, all different ones, all different old school connections. You'd be blown away. Have you heard of Papa Bear?
No, no.
I've got
Where
a
is he
lot of
from? Where is he from?
Papa Bear. He's the old school R&B artist. You know, When the Rain Begins to Fall, Cherish the Love.
Oh,
Back in the old
okay.
school. Yeah.
All right. The R&B artist. Okay.
Yeah, I got R&B. I got hip hop. I don't just stick to rap. I've got R&B, hip hop. I've got Kansas City R&B there as well that directly work with Tech Nine. I've got all different. I mean,
Oh,
blow your mind all the stuff that I've got.
Tech Nine is exclusive. He's doing different things.
Well,
He's that guy.
he's an independent. He's an independent rapper
Exactly.
that done it from the
Exactly.
mud himself.
Exactly.
So
That's what
you
I'm
know.
talking about. Independency.
So Kansas City, him as well. I've met and actually partied with Tech Nine many times. Just so you know, I can show you all that stuff later in the background if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Met Chris Calico, met Stevie Stone. I'm about to meet Joey Cool. There's a lot of different stuff, man. You blow your mind at all the stuff for people I've met. It would blow your mind. I've met over 50 different stars personally. So they
Well, I
blow your
can see
mind.
you love the game. I can see you love the game. You know, that's a good thing. We need this
I
culture
just
to
met.
continuously go on. We need people to love the game, especially us who have created this lane for people. You
I
see,
just.
people got to come back and realize who created this lane.
I
The
just
Cold
met.
Crush Four, the Fearless Four. You know what I mean? The Boogie Boys. All of these other artists has laid down the foundation. The graffiti artists, the original break dancers, all of that. You know what I mean? So I respect all of that what's going on, but you gotta understand one thing, man. You never forget the foundation, man.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You know that I just met, I just met DJ Yellowfella, Little Easy E, and Bone Thugs and Harmony in person, VIP. Partied with them, got all the videos and shows. I'll show you later. Absolutely phenomenal, man. Recently.
I love
You
Bone
know,
Thugs and Harmony. Bone Thugs and
Yeah.
Harmony, I love them. They're very original.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
So
Originality, no carbon copy.
Yeah, so I've met a lot of the old school pioneers, is what I'm trying to tell you. But how did you? So, what's the best advice that you've ever been given in the hip hop scene, and what was it?
The best advice?
Yeah, that someone's given you.
Own your masters, man. Own your master.
Nice.
And I wasn't given that directly by anybody. I learned that from Prince, Michael Jackson. Okay?
Wow.
Sam
Wow.
Cooke.
Rest in
Own
peace.
your masters, man. Own your masters.
Wow.
Own your likeness.
Well said, man.
Otherwise, you just a hoe in this game. You're being pimped.
Well said. Well said. So when you say own your masters, you mean like masters and splits in the songs and that kind of stuff, or you mean actually own 100% the masters?
I mean, own the masters, own the tapes. You're supposed to lease them out to the labels.
Yep.
You lease them out to the labels market them for you, promote them for you. Y'all cut a little piece of the action, that's up to you. What type of divide you like to do, but own the masters, so they always come back to you.
Yeah, so here's a question for you. If you pay for the studio and you pay for the feature, then you own the masters, am I correct?
Yes, you should. Everybody don't. Some people get swindled out of them.
I was about to tell you, 70% of people don't. But
Right.
anyway, that was...
And they pay for the studio time.
That's what I'm saying.
They created the master, all right?
Yeah.
And they still get swindled out of them.
Yeah.
So like I said, either you going to be a hoe and get pimped or own your masters.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Well, I agree. But a lot of the times I've paid for studio and artists to go in there. I own the song, but I give them a split of. I give them a split of.
That's cool. I mean, nothing wrong with that. If me and you do a song together, we own the master.
Yes.
That's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, if you go work for a company says they sign you, they give you some money, right? Then you go take the money and you go create an album, and then they tell you, you owe me this money back.
Yeah.
So now you just took a loan, and then they own your masters, who you got nothing.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of artists are getting $1 million, $2 million loans. They're signing a label, but they don't own it.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's not nothing complicated. It's a loan. And if you're getting a loan, and a loan is something to be paid back, am I right?
Yeah,
so that means you pay it back, and then they still own it. Something's wrong.
Yeah, but all the artists are doing that. It's called 360 deals.
Well, that's not right and exact. That's my point I'm making.
Yeah,
that's why I said be independent and own your masters.
Yeah.
You asked me what advice I would give somebody.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yeah, no, awesome. All right, we could talk. We could talk all day. I know that you've given me a time limit, so I'll get going. So let's just talk a little bit about your music. So on Spotify itself, the singles. So a few things come to mind for me. So in some of your singles, so the message that I've got from this. Some of your singles is like a Run DMC sort of thing. The message that I got from this is you got Vibrations back in August 31st, 2016. The song was called Vibrations, and the message that I got from that was more of a Run DMC kind of feeling. So big shout out to you for that. I really liked and enjoyed that single. It's called Vibrations. The other one you done Trees in the Air in August 2018. It made me look at it as a time for a new rap style. It was like a Grandmaster D on that, like a DJ sort of thing, man. That was absolute fire.
Grandmaster D is from Houdini. Grandmaster D is a legend.
Yeah, it's a DJ.
Grandmaster D is the DJ of Houdini.
Yeah, nice.
Grandmaster D is a legendary DJ, legendary hip hop image, period. He's
Nice.
one of the
Nice.
first and one of the best to ever do it.
Nice. All right. Then you've done recently single, March 15, 2024, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was really good. It's called Bonafide, and it had the MC Nemesis, the female MC in it, and it's called Bonafide. I think that's pretty for this era, being back, as I said, 1988, you coming to Sydney and that kind of stuff, and to hear how you've come along and to hear Bonafide MC, I can see why you've brought Nemesis in that. Fire.
Well, basically, what I did on that is I was just delivering a little vibe, a little message, and just pass the baton to the Nemesis. Let the new people do their thing, man.
Yeah,
Let the new people shine. That's what you're supposed to do. When you come up in the game and you done made your bones already, you done felt some success, you done toured places, you made a couple of bucks, you had some good times, you got to pass the baton, man, and let somebody
100%.
else shine.
That's one thing. I'll just be honest with you for a sec. Sorry to interrupt. One thing I have done is over the time that I've been doing the shows that I've been doing and all the songs and different stuff I've been doing worldwide, I put artists in the spotlight. I give them the opportunity. Now, just to give you an example, some of these artists I've put in the spotlight are now signed, big artists doing major things, massive things, working with Tech9 right beside him, working on different different music with him, touring with him, doing video clips with him that have been on my show and have been recognized from my show. Man, you'd be blown away some of the stuff that I can tell you that have recognized my show that are now signed from my show. So
that's a good look. That's a good look. That's what I'm saying. Now you open up the door, you open up an avenue for them. If it's done right, it'll be a revolving door. They'll come back. They'll
100%.
bless White Boy. White Boy will
100%.
keep doing things with them. You'll open up the door for somebody else. That's the network I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you do that, real hip hop can't be stopped.
That's what I've been doing. Been doing that since the COVID days. That's exactly what I'm
That's
saying.
what's up, man. I salute you for that.
Yeah. And many artists, many people do, because I take my time out. Like, it takes time to write up an interview. It takes time for me to do all of this outside of what our interview is now. You'd be surprised how long it takes me to get this prepared. So if you times that by 500 times, you times the interview by, say, an hour an interview, and then an hour and a half preparation before that, and then all the things in the background. You times all that time into doing that to highlight the artist, just alone to highlight the artist, not let alone do songs, just to highlight them and put them on an interview. I've done lots more than that. So that's why the name speaks for itself. I've done so many different things with different things. You'll see over a period of time that you've known me, you'll see all the stuff I've done. You'll be blown away. You'll be like, wow. But
well, I see you love the game. Now I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How'd you get started? What made you love the game? How'd you get into the game?
So I was brought up with NWA. I was brought up with Ice Cube. I was brought up with Dr. Dre. I was brought up with Coolio. I was brought up with all the old school artists, basically Yellow Wolf, Ritz, some American music. I was brought up with Mercules. I was brought up with Snoop Dogg. I was brought up with COB, King Crooked Eye. I was brought up with all the old school greats that are still around. Now, let me just tell you this. Like you said, they've passed the baton. They're the old school greats, but they're letting the newer style just do all the marketing, promotion, and all that. They've sort of like given up on. I've had to ring them personally and give them a bit of a push, because how good they are. They're letting themselves go invisible while these other people are not the greatest, but where they should be shining more. So I've given them a bit of a push to come back on the scene. So you'll see a lot of these artists that I'm mentioning coming back up strong, Detroit artists and things like that. But I was brought up with those old school artists. I was brought up with hip hop. Hip hop bleeds in my blood, so that's why I do what I do. That's why I started in the COVID area. I started because a lot of the world shut down. And I knew that was a good time for me to get in and introduce myself and go live, and sky's the limit from there for me.
Well, I see you've been working, man. If you just started around the COVID era, you're doing your thing. I
100%,
respect.
man.
I
I
respect
appreciate
that.
it. So,
Mhm.
what I want to do is talk about your hit single record in 1986. It was called Ugly. And it was also, there was an album which was called Coming Correct in 1988, 83 to 1990. So you guys did an album called Coming Correct as well. But the hit single that got you guys really going was called You're Ugly, which is really good. I've posted that on my wall. I've actually given people the video for them to see. Double O and all that was with you, and a female artist as well. Can we just elaborate a little bit on all that? Because that's how then you became an independent solo artist in the 1990s and went there from yourself. Can we just have a little bit of a discussion how that all came about?
Well, going back, I told you how I originally started. My first records was in 78, 79, right? I had another name, named Cat Claw. You could Google it. Out in the streets, Golden Rule, right? And back then, it was a lot of gimmick groups. It was a different era, if you know the history of hip-hop. This is before NWA. This is before NWA.
Yep.
Okay, this is before Wu-Tang.
Yep.
Enough respect to all those groups. Before Nas.
Yep.
Before Big Daddy Kane.
Yep.
Okay? In the beginning here, we had a lot of groups. You had the Cold Crush 4. You had the Fantastic Romantic 5. These were groups.
Run DMC.
They kind of were emulating. Run DMC came a little later.
Okay.
They came after them. Okay? But you had other groups, a lot of groups. You Google, you can do the history. Just Google Cold Crush, Fantastic Romantic 5, you know what I mean? And those brothers like that. There's a whole slew of groups that came through that you don't really hear about them that much because they never really made records. Records were just coming up. They were mostly on cassette tapes and stuff like that. Only a couple of them made records. But after that came a wave of artists. And everybody had an identity. Houdini was the guys that they made records for the females. They made funky records. You had Heavy D and the Boys. He was the heavier guy. You had some guys that danced with him. You had UTFO. They were the break dancers from Houdini before. They danced a little bit. You had Velore and Double O, which was us. We came out of Brooklyn. We was basically Brooklyn fly guys. That was our gimmick. That was our gimmick. We was the fly, and it really wasn't a gimmick because we really lived that. But everybody had an identity back then. You always knew who somebody was. You could look at them and say, okay, that's what they about. Those guys are about this. Then after that, you had a little gangster wave came through. My man Cool G Rap came through. He set that off.
Ghetto Boys, LL Cool J, things like that.
Ghetto Boy and them came a little later. LL Cool J, he was a spitter. He was a single solo lover boy. Run DMC was the rock and roll guys.
Yeah.
They were hip hop fused with rock and roll and a lot of break beats. They had a dope DJ. So everybody had a gimmick then. So what I'm saying is you always look for a record that would catch people. At this time, hip hop was coming out of being underground. We was trying to go popular. We was trying to be on the top 40 records.
Yeah.
So that's what my point is, so that I don't speak too long on it. My point is, because it's a long story, my point is that's how Your Ugly came about. We had a bunch of records. We had records much better than Your Ugly. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, what happens is when you get a record company, you're sitting around with a board of people, they're thinking about their dollars, their money. So they was looking for the record that could go the furthest. And we was under Virgin Records. Virgin Records had money back then, and they still got money now.
Yeah, no, I heard of.
So they wanted to take that record and blow it up on radio, and that's what they chose to do.
So
we ended up getting a video out of it, and they chose, look, let's go with Your Ugly. This record could be popular. Run DMC and them had crossed over. Houdini and them had crossed over, blew it up. They crossed over to the R&B audience. We had people crossing over. So they wanted us to cross over. So they said, look, this record right here could cross over. It's so funny. It has a sense of humor. Let's go with this. And that's the story.
Yeah.
And that's how we got your
so we'd call it versatility these days, where you could do more than one act. We'd call that versatility. So where you're doing more than one song kind of genre, where you mix it up a little bit instead of sounding the same. Yeah. We call that versatility.
Yeah. We was trying to break into. Look, let me tell you something. If these artists didn't do these things, didn't take chances and take a lot of artists took ventures, tried to venture out, and they didn't plug. They didn't pop. You don't hear about them. A lot of them had good records, but you didn't hear about them because it didn't catch on. But if you didn't have these artists doing this and take this chance to do this, and Melly Mel and Furious 5 with the message is like a jungle sometimes. It makes me want to keep from going under. They had different records in there.
Yeah.
These are the records they just fed to you so that they can break into that radio.
Yeah.
If you didn't have those artists that took those chances, hip-hop would not be what it is today.
What about Mix-a-Lot? Mix-a-Lot, all of them.
So Mix-a-Lot was a good guy. He did what he did from his part of town. Now, everybody wasn't crazy about his record.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't crazy about my record. Everybody wasn't crazy about other people's records. But he represented where he was from. And that's my point. You needed that. You needed Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
They were like
MC Hammer.
Comical guys rhyming. You needed Heavy D and the Boys, a heavy guy dancing. You know what I mean?
Brown,
and the girls loving him.
Brown, MC Hammer.
You needed MC Hammer. He came from the West Coast and he brought that pop through. If it wasn't for MC Hammer breaking like that, a lot of those West Coast artists wouldn't have got as big as quick as they got. So then the records companies came looking for more artists. And it's this journey that got you where you at today. That's why that's why you're able to hear Kendrick Lamar.
I'm not a big fan.
You're able to hear all these different versions of music if all these guys didn't pave the way for us.
Yeah.
You understand?
I'm not a big fan of any of them, of the artists. But all good. But I know what you mean. That's the
and even in Australia, right? Even in Australia. If you go back in your history in Australia, you're gonna have the same thing. You're gonna see some of the first Australian acts. Then you're gonna see some of them that branched off from them. Some of them didn't make it. Some of them were pretty good. They didn't make it. Then you're gonna have somebody that came through and boom, popped off.
Yeah, sure.
Came popping. Then you're gonna have some that come behind them and ride on the same wave. This is how it happens with music. The guys who usually first come out the gate with a new genre or a new style, they don't usually get the accolades, man.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan did not get $1 million contract, bro. Michael Jordan had one of the shittiest contracts in the NBA.
Yeah.
You can go check it out. He made his money through merchandise. He made his money through merchandise. He figured it out. So my point is, the person that comes out the gate a lot of times, who really deserves it, and who you look back and say, yo, this guy was really dope.
Yeah.
A lot of time they don't get the shine, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That's just how it is out here. And when you understand that, then you won't be bitter. That's why Velore's not bitter.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Velore just keeps it going.
There's a lot of hate. I put a lot of people that hated me as well.
I'm not bitter about nothing. I understand the game. And I just keep it going. I ride my own wave. And I don't care what nobody thinks.
You know, I put a lot of haters as my followers now, but they if you don't have haters and you're not doing something right, that's how I see it anyway. So you gotta have haters to keep building. But I had many haters, man, and I don't have that many haters anymore. A lot of people follow me because they've seen where I've started and where I'm at. So it is what it is. You just got to keep pursuing it and being.
Doing your thing, man. If you just started when COVID came through, you're doing your thing.
100%. But you got to keep being persistent. If you're not persistent, it's no good. People will drop off.
Right.
So, and there's a lot of artists doing that. There's great artists, but they're not persistent, so they drop off and no one cares. And then they'll listen to someone like Garbage. But that's just how it is. That's just how it is.
That's
But
how
anyway,
it
we'll get back to
is.
we'll get back
Agreed. I agree with you.
we'll get back to quickly with your music. A few albums that you brought out. So I Master the Game. You brought out on March 8th, 2017. It had 7 songs in it. What caught my eye was Caught You on the Low, Nobody Lives, and I Master the Game. They were my 3 top favorite out of those top 7 songs. Because I feel
You like
like
you
that,
like you like hardcore urban stuff. I could tell. I see the singles you choose.
yeah, exactly. But
That's
your
what's up.
album, your albums and your songs and that was very good. Guys, check out those albums from really good. Also another favorite of mine, which is really good, was called Mike Van, I'll Be Around. That was pretty recent. That had 8 songs in it, and that was done in the May the 2nd, just before your birthday. And my favorite my favorite 4 out of them, Bars, Fire, Message, and Beats. Delivery was Mike Man. I think that was really done well. I think that was a really big hit for you.
Yeah, that
Very, very
was
good.
produced by my man Mark Boogie Brown. Mark Boogie Brown, he's a Brooklynite. He's one of the best producers out here in the game. He produced a lot for Duck Down Records. He did a lot for Duck Down. He does a lot of soundtracks, and he's still active. You can look him up, Mark Boogie Brown. He's like a Prince. I would say he's like a Brooklyn hip hop raw, rugged Prince. He could play all the instruments and do the whole track for you all by himself.
Nice. What do you think of Emino Domino, and a lot of these other artists, a lot of these other companies that are bringing out people where they can jump on features that are being recycled? What do you think about that?
I mean, the record companies it's a record business, man. Wherever they see that they can go in and they can make some money, they're holding on to a lot of stuff. They got a lot of tracks. A lot of people are sitting on music that they spend money on to make, and they're trying to make money off of it. So I can't knock what a businessman is doing. A lot of them are not artists. They never made a record in their life.
Correct. But
They never produced a track in their life. They're just artists. So whatever they're doing, I welcome to do it.
Okay.
But all I'm trying to do as an artist and the respect for other artists is, us artists that got the love for the art, we got to survive in this thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm riding on, bro. The artist.
100%, but there's a lot of recycled verses out there. That's what I'm saying. So they get the opportunity to jump on and listen to a different artist, or buy that artist's verse. But there's a lot of obligations with that. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You don't own it. There's no masters.
Right.
None of that. So they say that you do, but you don't.
Well,
so
I'm
I just thought what your
doing.
thoughts might be on.
Right boy. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not buying no verses. I'm not buying no AI sounding verses. I'm not buying no verses that they don't even sound like they real. I'm with authentic stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm asking.
The artist gotta sound authentic, man. I don't want a bunch of stuff remastered over and over. They pulled the vocal from here, they threw it off of there, they threw it on this track.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Half of the guys, it don't have no vibe to it. And again, I'm not knocking what anyone else does.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you that that's not my thing.
No.
That's not my thing.
But by doing that, they're giving.
I was a graffiti artist first. First, I was a break dancer, a top rocker. Wow. I was a graffiti artist. Second, I ran with the legendary graffiti artist, not who rode on pads. Trains, man. Trains out of Brooklyn, man.
No,
okay?
Yeah, no, I seen the graffiti wall. I put it up.
So my point is this: I'm an artist, full-fledged artist. I respect artists. Not nobody jumping on no tracks, somebody passed it to them and all that. No, man. I'm with the full-fledged art. But I'm not knocking a business. Because
Reason I
some people are just pure hustlers.
yeah, the reason I mentioned it is it gives the artist an opportunity to get a feature with something they may never get. So that I like.
Well, again, that's part of the new business. I'm
Yeah.
not knocking it. If somebody, that's how they're gonna deliver a hit, but you ain't gonna see Velore do too much no stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna have to vibe
no,
with the person. I'm
I
gonna have
get
to
it, but
vibe with the person. I'm gonna have to know the person. Like I know DJ, like I know Action, Special Ed DJ. That's my man. I'm gonna have to vibe with somebody like that. I say, yo, I got a track, boom, boom, boom. And I ain't never
I
did
get
nothing with Action, but he's my peoples. I'm saying that's how I vibe. I vibe with peoples, man.
I
I vibe with
get it.
peoples. I'm doing everything authentic, man.
We'll quickly
You
get
dig? But
back
I'm
to
not knocking nobody else, white boy.
no
Not
worries.
knocking nobody else.
We'll quickly get back to your other songs. So Brooklyn on the Rise was really good. Absolutely loved it. I think it was really good. I listened to it last night again. Also, Rest in Peace, Whack MCs was great. It just explains about Whack MCs, what we've spoken about today, which is really good. Whack MCs is as simple as that. And Charlestown Blue I found was really good. The beat, the message, and that was fire. I think Charlestown Blue was good. So I really enjoyed that album, Mike Man. I'll Be Around. It was really good, man. So big shout out to you for that.
Thank
Also,
you, man. Thank you.
Russell Simmons, he was the owner of Def Jam. I believe back in around the time you were in Australia, he was the Def Jam owner, Russell Simmons. So, Russell Simmons done a tour in January, and he was doing tours with Run DMC, Curtis DJ, Slick Rick, and all of these people that you had to go up against to come to Sydney, Australia, that you were working with, and he was like how Def Jam is today with what they are today and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to you for that too, man. That's a big shout out there for that, Russell Simmons, and what he did as well for Def Jam, man, and what you guys did in 1988 and come to Australia. Just quickly following that, what did you do for 60 days tour that you were in Australia? Just quickly.
Oh, we went to, I don't remember all the names, Sydney, Melbourne.
Sure.
We stopped in New Zealand. We hang in a lot of big clubs. Australia was very nice, man. It's an impact that stayed on me forever. You know what I mean? The people were nice. You know, they loved the party. You know, we played a couple of big arenas, and I liked the way they had fused hip hop. They had the BMX bikes.
Yeah,
Okay,
cool.
we had graffiti artists with us. Phase Two, legendary Phase Two. Google his
Nice.
names. He's one of the first legendary graffiti artists that was hitting the trains. We had Days with us on tour. These guys had books out. They were already known for doing murals. They went with us on the road to all the states we went to. We had Velore and Double O. We had a DJ by the name of Father Chance. And we just brought the culture straight to Australia, man. Let them know this is how it is. This is the new thing. This is the new genre of music, and it's coming through.
You
And look at Australia today. Look at Australia today, man. Look at their hip hop movement today.
100%. It's funny you say that because my whole time that I've done the shows and everything I've done in hip hop, and I'll say this so everybody knows, it's good to be known local, but it's better to be known international. It gives you more exposure. So for you to come out to Australia and everything, man, that's a blessing for yourself. Not only do you see another country and that kind of thing, you get exposed further than anywhere locally, like in America. You're exposed in Sydney, Australia, New Zealand, Melbourne, Queensland, whatever it is, whatever you've done out here, you're exposed in all those continents. And as you know, Australia is one of the biggest countries. We're surrounded by water, one of the most respected countries in the world. So, man, for you guys to do that, not many artists is allowed to do that, and I'll tell you why. Because if you have a record or you've been to jail, 90% of people that do artistry or music in America now have been to jail or have some kind of background where they can't come to Australia. So big shout out to you for doing what you did.
Okay, hopefully I touch down again. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to going to some places now. A lot of the Asian countries, especially because their foundation with hip hop is crazy. Japan,
Yeah,
China,
Thailand.
Thailand, they love hip hop. You know what I mean? And then also, you know, Germany, France. It's all over
Yeah,
now. It's all over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Everybody plays a part. You got Master Ace, and I forgot the other brother producers that he tours it with. They're always in France. They're always in like spots like Italy, Europe. You know, you had Boot Camp Clicks. They've been all through Europe. You had Wu-Tang been all over the world.
Yeah, well, you got
I mean,
Onyx. Don't forget,
this
you got
is what
Onyx.
it is, man. This
Onyx
is
is
what it is. It's an
Onyx.
international thing.
Onyx is
Onyx.
gone through Germany, Europe,
Yeah,
all of them.
Onyx. Yes, yes.
Do you know that one of the artists of ours, Michelle Visa, is touring with Onyx? Big shout out to Michelle Visa from Buffalo. She's touring with Onyx, I think in the New York. So in New York, they're touring America. Onyx. So she's touring. I'll send you Michelle Visa. You'll. I tell you now, Nemesis and Michelle Visa should do a track. Absolute fire. Absolute.
Okay.
But
You threw it in there, maybe they will. You know what I mean? That's hip hop. That's hip
yeah,
hop.
man, you'd like Michelle Visa, you'd like Carla Bishop, you'd like the female MCs that I have. You'd like them. So more importantly, you've done some first shows. You did a 60-day tour in Australia, man, which we just spoke about. So big shout out to you for that. You're in the breakdancing scene, like you said. You're in the graffiti scene as well. You just explained about the BMXs back in the day, man. So
that's my first intro to hip hop, man.
Wow.
My first introduction to hip hop was dancing and graffiti. Then I got into MCing, DJing. I DJed, then I got into MCing. Most people who really love the culture, who really grew up in the foundation of the culture, they tapped into various things. They lived this culture. This is a lifestyle.
I will be honest here. To everybody that's looking at, like everybody, I normally get a time limit with a lot of these artists, but we've gone over our time limit. No, I'm assuming we've gone over our time limit because for you, Abu.
Well, right now I'm just doing I'm always just doing a lot of projects, man. I just stay busy. You know what I mean? I got various tracks. I just finished talking to Mark Boogie Brown like 2 days ago. He's dropping some tracks for me. I'm going to do another track with Nemesis. I got a couple other people I'm doing tracks with. My man Mars Noel. You know what I mean? I'm doing tracks with him. And, you know, I just roll with the punches, man. I'm not really too much like branching out, you know, looking for nothing different. I'm just riding my own wave, man. And whatever comes, whatever comes.
I'll definitely send you some links, some opportunities, some artists that's definitely been with me for a while that are really good. They do have marketing, promotion, and a bit of a budget behind them that we could actually do something with. And they're not all talk. There's a lot of artists that are actually doing their thing at the moment. I really respect that, coming out from the mud and things like that. But before we wrap up this interview, is there anything you'd like to say to me or the public?
Yeah, look out for my man Raider Van. Raider Van, the NPC killer. Look out for Raider Van. He make beats right on the spot. He's sick with it. That's another one I'm about to do some records with.
Nice.
And of course, my man Grandmaster D from Houdini. He's touring all over the world now, doing the DJ thing non-stop. Abu Velore, man. Velore and 00 forever, man.
So you...
Who's made a difference in your life? Oh, a lot of people. But a lot of people who have allowed me to have some silence. And I don't think we give that gift very much anymore. I'm very concerned that our society is much more interested in information.
Yo, you not rocking it right. That Versace boy, you not rocking it right. That Christian Dior, not rocking it right. That YSL, you not rocking it right. That Fendi, you not rocking it right. You not rocking it right, You not rocking it right, yo. You not rocking it right. Your color's too bright, pants too tight. You look like you on crack, boy, hitting the pipe. Abu Velore here to share some light. You're not hip-hop, so let go of that mic. I was born with this, graffiti on the wall, the guard degrees, and I naturally ball. You not hip-hop, this shit got to stop. You like an informer, a crooked cop. You don't represent the real, I'm out for the kill. I'm lethal injection, Antonio Bill. Never told on a nigga, I'd never never squeal. MCs get killed, I kill at will. You best to chill, I got my skill. And caps get peeled, I'm on my Ron O'Neal. Max Julian, and I'm Maxwell. And all you rappers, go to hell. I told y'all boys you're not rocking it right. You bitch ass cats, you not rocking it right. You're not rocking it right, boy, you're not rocking it right. Y'all cats just not rocking it right. Velore. Yeah, that Gucci kid, you're not rocking it right. That Fendi kid, you're not rocking it right. That Louis Vuitton, you're not rocking it right. And you look so dusty like you're smoking the pipe. The synthetic diamonds, that ain't right. They made in the lab, Masonite. A bunch of fake colors shining in the light. You dumb down kids trying to play right. Velore, baby, with my rhymes galore. On the lyric store, son, you're not rocking it right. You're not rocking it right. You're not rocking it right. You bitch ass cats ain't rocking it right. You're not rocking it right. You're not rocking it right. Case on the jeweler, nigga. Boom!
Light, camera.
Oh yeah. Hey yo, Abu.
Peace, nemesis.
What we out here to do?
I'm uptown Brooklyn on a Saturday night. I got my mind right, I'm gonna blaze the mic. Tailor-made suits, hat cocked to the right. Black revolution, but I'm polite. My girl, when I'm Flatbush tone. In my zone, got blown. They watching from a drone. Will these rebels ever leave me alone? I'm the home run hitter, slick money getter. I'm the big dog, you titty dinners, hot ball spitter, black mink chinchilla. I'ma give the record to the highest bidder. Velore and double O, we came correct. Point seen, money lost, put a stack on my bet. 7-11, C-low on my dice. And one of you gonna pay the price. You thought I was a fad, but I'll never pass. I snatched the money bag and ran on your ad. Velore, boy, I'm smooth like jazz. Hip hop top class. You get mad like paid in full. I had a diamond in a stash.
Mystified, supervised, snip. While we stepping up, qualified. Yeah, always fly, bona fide, legit. Yo, I sense a storm front accumulating momentum. I see storefronts hiding, incriminating agendas. I used to ride low, pull up in a them till I understood wisdom. Visceral addendum, memorandum for advanced preparation. Revolution I televise, advise the wise man your stations. Thinking steps ahead like designer staircases to avoid the casket. The ignorant get encasing. Crematorium, corrupted corpses incinerated. Meet the green-eyed tigress who won't be intimidated. Shutting up the mouths from which lies get disseminated. Cleanse your soul with pure flows, infection eliminated. Aura eternal, inferno of dream haters. Power internal, preferred quote of dreamscapers. Chase the logic and catch up to what I mean later. Rebirth and quantum leap, royalty of creator. I said royalty of creator. Always fly, bona fide, legit. Bona fide, legit. That's how we keep the devil horrified, mystified, supervised, snip. While we stepping up, qualified. Always fly, bona fide, legit. Bona fide, legit.
You already know. Velore, nemesis. We bona fide legit.
Bona fide, legit.
Flatbush thug had guns and drugs. I knew the plug, but I was bugged. They gave me $1 million in '88 because my mind was great, way upstate. So authentic, never fake. Political slayer, dope rhyme sayer, Velore, original player. Don't claim to be the best MC, but you know on the low, don't fuck with me. You get damaged, B. I'm G.O.G. I'm T.O.P. My drip is bigger. I'm board snicker, rhyme flipper, round liquor sipper, home run hitter, MC killer. I take the skriller. I'm Brooklyn born, nobody litter. Frank Matthews and we rock the spinners.
I'll be there. Whenever you want it, I'll be there. Whenever you need it, I'll be there. I'll be around.
Don't claim to be the best MC, but you know on the low, don't be.
Let's get it. When I grab the mic, it's like a Tyson fight. I go back and forth all day, all night. Look in the mirror, it's a beautiful sight. 7-day cruise, airplane flights. I'm good to go, piece the double O. I stand alone, can't touch my flow. I clean shit up like mop and blow. I'm nice on the mic, you already know.